Mm, There are no cards. So, just my debate speech again, which was about if there should be stricter gun control laws or not. So I think that there should, just because it could limit the amount of school shootings that happen. In my opinion, and the amount of shooting incidents that happen between young adults, teenagers, just really anybody. So as of right now, most of us know that they do have a good amount of gun control laws. The first law was enacted in 1934 called the National Firearm Act, which is essentially the law that put in place that there is the process that one needs to go to in order to be licensed and to legally have a firearm, the background checks, evaluations, fees, reasoning, what one works best for them, the licenses, everything like that. It essentially made it very difficult for basically anybody off the street just to go into a shop and buy one. Of course, just like any other law, there has been amendments to it just within the last few decades, as this is they kind of been something that's become more common within society. One being the Title II Gun Control Act, which again just put more laws into place as to how we can legally possess a firearm, as well as the Firearm Owners Protection Act, which was enacted in 1986. This one basically just is what dictates like what license we need, because there is the FOID card, there's a concealed carry, but both of them differ in different senses. So yeah, just like that, just because it has been something that's been more common, there have been more laws for it. Um, so one of my reasonings for it is again the issue with school shootings, as we've seen within the past two decades, that school shootings have been something that have been more and more common, unfortunately. Um, it says that as of 2024, the amount of school shootings that happened in 2024 were 330, which is the second highest since 1996. And that's only 19 less than the 2023 amount, which was 349, which unfortunately is the record second highest school shooting amount since 1996. Um, both of those, I think that with that, it would make it extremely more difficult for students to possess firearms, especially ones, because again, you are 18, you can own certain firearms. I think that if there were stricter laws of especially students that have access to schools and to younger children within these schools, that they shouldn't exactly be allowed to. I feel like you shouldn't be able to really own a gun until you are graduated from high school and don't have access to these buildings and these children anymore. Because at the same time, there are most places in bigger cities have a separate high school or a separate middle school, elementary school, but there are some towns that have kindergarten through 12th grade seniors that are within the same building. Um, there is also the debate of whether if this goes against the constitutional right to own a firearm. So Amnesty International states kind of goes along with the same reasoning that they think that gun control laws are good in the sense of it provides an extra level of protection, and it thinks of anybody that owns a firearm or has one out like in public really is a threat, or think of it as a threat, because the main reason is you never know somebody's true intentions with it. um, a lot of people, like in homes, do have them in terms of protection and self-defense if something ever were to happen. And there are parents that won't let their young children come over if they know that that parent does have a firearm in the house, simply just as you never know what that parent is capable of. You never know what the child that they're over there seeing is capable of. And you never know what your own child is capable of. I feel like, so they think that it's just another extra level of protection that kind of keeps everybody safe, whether it's the person that owns the firearm, around them, selling the firearm, whatever the case may be. Um, so then there's again the topic of discussion of if it goes against the Second Amendment, right? The NRA, or the National Rifle Association, states that It is a constitutional amendment that we do have the right to bear arms and legally own firearms, and they think that having gun control laws does go against that and violate that right. Um, because again, it means that any one of us can own it. But since there are these laws in place, there are obviously people that can't own firearms legally, like people that have had past convictions, harmed others, maybe not in the right headspace mentally with background evaluations, psych evaluations, even sometimes physical evaluations. There are people that have like physical handicaps that cannot own a firearm just simply because they might not be able to use it properly, or if they use it, it could harm themselves. So they just think that overall it goes against that right. Um, which I do understand to a point, but also it's also the fact of keeping others safe as well as yourself. Um, so yeah, again, I just think that if there are laws in place that are extremely important, and there should be some extra ones just to kind of keep more people safe, mainly in terms of the younger adults or teenagers that are purchasing them, that do, again, have access to young children in buildings where a lot of children and a lot of people are located all the time, like schools. I think that with these laws, it could potentially keep people from getting harmed by firearms more often. Because I do also understand that even with the laws, there are people that will go buy them illegally, but if they're legal, it is kind of harder to an extent to like prove if it was self-defense or if the person did it, what the person did, because it is a legally registered firearm compared to an illegal one where they could get them on that right away, if anything. So overall, I just think it is more of a safety concern than anything. And yeah, that is all.